Welcome to Sports Wrap on the Road at the Seagate for the Central City Ministries and the 14th Annual Urban All-American Awards. And what a distinct honor and privilege it is to have the legendary Coach Lou Holtz here. Coach, first of all, welcome to Toledo. Thank you so much for coming for this wonderful event. And we got to get to this because I know you're rushed, Coach, and we got some things. Coaching with Woody Hayes in your early days, Coach, what was that like?
Oh, that was like being at war many times. I could tell you more crazy insane stories about Woody Hayes, but I loved him. I respected him. I'm a better person because I had the opportunity to be around him. I learned more about coaching from him than anywhere else. He was just a very special individual. Did you condone everything he did? No, but he was special.
Coach, your Notre Dame years, national championship, what you did there, turning that program around, igniting that campus, the alumni. Talk a little bit of it, reflect a little bit on your years at Notre Dame.
Oh, when I went there, they were saying the same things now that you couldn't win at Notre Dame.
You couldn't win, right?
But I remember Father Joyce saying to me, there's some items that are not negotiable before I took the job.
Right.
You aren't going to redshirt. You aren't going to take transfers. You're going to need good grades to get in, good college boards. Players are going to miss practice because of late classes. Now they're going to play the most difficult schedule they could find. They're expected to compete for the national championship every 3 years. In addition to that, they didn't have good facilities, didn't plan on improving them, and the clincher was the coach wasn't allowed to make more than the president of the university, and the president was a priest. Now, from that point on, it was downhill.
It was smooth sailing,
but
Coach.
Those were not negotiable, but I believed in Notre Dame, and it was just a special place. And everything that he said did not bother me, because he didn't say you could only play with 5 and everybody else couldn't have 11. He didn't say you couldn't practice, you couldn't block, or you couldn't tackle. But just being at Notre Dame, it was an honor to be able to represent Our Lady on the Dome and to be able to lead the Fighting Irish.
Coach Holtz, there are so many young teachers and coaches that watch the BCSN out here, and coaches take over programs, especially young ones most times. They get them because the schools aren't winning. That's how they get the jobs. Your career, you have never failed to turn around a program. And for the coaches out there that take over these programs, can you give them 2 or 3 things from Lou Holtz that you have to do if you want to successfully turn a program around?
As I told Urban Meyer before he came to Bowling Green and skipped going to East Carolina, he said, well, I'm not sure it's a good job. I said, good jobs don't open up.
Right.
You know, the coaching game. And if a good job did open up, what makes them think they would hire you to begin with? So just go in there and take it and build it. But I felt there are certain things. Number one, I think that you have to build a team. There's no individual more important than the overall welfare or the good of the group. I think the other thing is good, sound fundamentals. And then raise their self-image and their standards. There are too many people in the leadership role today that want to be popular. And so they try to keep people happy. Your job as a coach is not to keep people happy. It's to take that young man or woman to a level that they can't get on their own because they won't push themselves hard enough. And that's the thing I learned most about Woody Hayes. I only had 3 rules. Do the right thing. Do everything to the best of your ability. And always show people you cared. And then good sound fundamentals, blocking and tackling. I don't think it's complicated to turn a program around.
Well, and Coach, at South Carolina, you did just that. And now your friend, Steve Spurrier, is taking it over. How do you think Steve's going to do?
Well, recently talking to him, he thinks this could be a very special year. They have a good football team coming back. We qualified for a bowl game last year. He thinks this can be special. He's a great football coach. But when I did leave, I wanted to leave a good, solid program, but I also wanted to leave it with a very fine coach, and Steve Spurrier will do an excellent job there. That Eastern Division is pretty difficult to begin with.
That's great.
I mean, we've had some great games with Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, and the list goes on and on.
Right. Well, Coach, you know, it's so we've got about a minute left, but it's so we watch you coach college football, and you could just see the love and the passion for the game that you had and the care for the kids. Talk about that a little bit.
I think you have to have a passion. I told my children that 3 things. Find something you like to do, something you do well, and find somebody to pay you to do it. People paid me to coach. I couldn't believe it. I had a passion. Just try to make them the best they can.
Coach Holtz, you made us better people by being here on the BCSN. We thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being in Toledo and for this special night for the Central City Ministry.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Sports Wrap on the Road.